The 2024 election sent shockwaves through America. The nation watched in stunned silence as the results rolled in, each update more surprising than the last. Donald Trump, the seemingly unstoppable force, had returned to power. His supporters erupted in jubilation, their cheers echoing through the night. The air crackled with disbelief. How could this happen? The unexpected turn of events left many Americans grappling for answers, their faces etched with confusion and concern. Whispers began, swirling through the corridors of power. In the dimly lit rooms of Washington, D.C., politicians and analysts alike speculated on the force. Could it be true? The idea seemed far-fetched, yet it gained traction. A pact designed to sideline one person, Kamala Harris. This wasn't about ideology. This was about power. The whispers suggested a calculated move to keep Harris from ascending. Biden, the aging puppet master, pulling the strings for a perhaps. But the evidence seemed to suggest a deeper, more sinister plan at work. But the more you looked, the more the pieces seemed to fit. Each clue, each headline, each whispered conversation added to the growing sense of unease. Was this the new reality of American politics? Throughout his presidency, whispers about Biden's mental acuity plagued him. From the very beginning, questions about his cognitive abilities were a constant undercurrent in political discussions. His gaffes, his stumbles, his moments of apparent confusion. These incidents were not isolated. They became a recurring theme that critics eagerly highlighted. What if it was all an act? A carefully crafted performance to lull the nation into a false sense of security? Could it be that Biden's apparent missteps were part of a grander scheme, to make them crave the perceived stability of a Trump presidency? The idea was to create a stark contrast, making Trump's assertiveness strategy. Could Biden have been playing a deeper game, one that few could see? Was Biden deliberately throwing the election to clear a path for Trump? The notion seems far-fetched, yet it lingers in the minds of some. Biden and Trump, two sides of the same coin, ideologically opposed yet united by a shared distrust of Harris. Her ambition was evident, her rise meteoric. Perhaps they saw her as a threat, someone who would upset the established order. Their reasons may have differed, but their objective aligned: keep Harris out of power. Biden, perhaps fearing she would dismantle his legacy. Trump, possibly seeing her as an obstacle to his own ambitions. A shared enemy can make for strange bedfellows, even in the cutthroat world of politics. Section 4. The mask drops. Biden's post-election. Gone were the gaffes. Gone were the stumbles. The transformation was striking, almost as if he had been reborn with a new sense of energy and clarity. He was sharp, articulate, almost unrecognizable from the man who had stumbled through the election. His speeches were now clear and focused, his demeanor confident and assured. Was this the real Biden, unshackled from the charade? Or had he simply been hiding his true self all along, waiting for the right moment to reveal his capabilities? Had the election served its purpose? Was it merely a stepping stone to unveil the true leader within him? Harris was effectively neutralized, her path to the presidency blocked. The dynamics within the administration had shifted dramatically. The puppet master had played his part. The strategies and maneuvers behind the scenes had all led to this moment. The apprentice had taken the stage. And Biden? He was now the master of his own destiny, no longer a mere figurehead. He could now afford to be himself again. The transformation was complete, and the world watched as the new Biden took charge, ready to lead with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Section 5. The political chessboard, motives and maneuvers. The political world thrives on speculation. Every move, every utterance scrutinized for hidden meaning. Was this alleged pact a desperate gamble by Biden to maintain control? A Machiavellian power play to outmaneuver not just the Republicans but his own party? Or was it Trump who orchestrated the whole thing, exploiting Biden's weaknesses to manipulate him into this Faustian bargain? The truth, as always, remained elusive, but the potential ramifications were staggering. Section 6. Implications and fallout. A nation divided. If this theory held any water, the implications were chilling. A nation divided, not by ideology, but by a deep-seated mistrust in its leaders. The very foundation of democracy, built on trust and transparency, would be shaken to its core. The public, already disillusioned, would be left wondering who they could believe in. The political and suspicion. Section 7. Conclusion, fact, fiction, or convenient narrative. Was this elaborate theory merely a figment of our collective imagination, a way to make sense of the seemingly inexplicable? Or was there a darker truth lurking beneath the surface? We may never know for sure, but one thing is certain. The 2024 election and the events that unfolded have left an indelible mark on the American psyche. A mark that will continue to fuel speculation, debate, and perhaps a healthy dose of paranoia for years to come.
In the realm of modern political theater, few theories capture the imagination quite like the idea that President Joe Biden, far from being the bumbling leader his critics claim, has been deliberately faking incompetence. This theory suggests a masterstroke of political maneuvering. Biden, aware of the deepening challenges facing the United States, intentionally steers the ship of state into turbulent waters with the ultimate goal of handing over the wheel to Donald Trump, ensuring that the next phase of political blame lands squarely on his shoulders. At first glance, this theory seems far-fetched. Why would a sitting president, particularly one with decades of political experience, undermine his own leadership in such a public and embarrassing manner? Proponents argue that Biden is playing the long game, one rooted in an understanding of both public psychology and political legacy. By embracing the perception of incompetence, Biden distances himself from responsibility for the mounting crises, whether economic downturns, foreign policy setbacks, or societal unrest. One cannot ignore the symbolism of a sinking ship. In this narrative, Biden recognizes that the United States is facing challenges that may be insurmountable in the short term: rising inflation, geopolitical instability, and increasing polarization. Rather than expend his dwindling political capital trying to fix the unfixable, he chooses to feign ineffectiveness, allowing the country to reach a breaking point under his successor. Enter Donald Trump, whose polarizing figure and unorthodox policies make him the ideal scapegoat for the nation's woes. The theory finds its roots in Biden's public persona. Critics often point to his verbal gaffes, apparent physical frailty, and uneven performance in public speeches as evidence of a president who is out of his depth. But what if these moments are intentional? What if Biden, fully aware of the spotlight on him, is crafting a narrative in which he becomes the tragic figure who tried his best before passing the torch to a rival doomed to fail? This approach would not only shield Biden's legacy but also reinforce his party's argument that Trump, and by extension the Republican Party, is unfit to govern. This theory also raises questions about Trump's own role in the supposed charade. If Biden is laying a trap, is Trump unwittingly walking into it, or is he complicit in the larger scheme? The latter idea, though less commonly discussed, paints a picture of a political system where adversaries cooperate behind the scenes to maintain the illusion of conflict. While Trump rallies his base against the perceived failures of the Biden administration, he may also recognize the opportunity to reclaim power, even if it means inheriting a political quagmire. Skeptics of this theory are quick to point out its lack of concrete evidence. They argue that Biden's challenge